Hello and welcome to Regular Veteran. My name's Scott, and today I'm bringing you an episode that I'm really insecure about. I don't really, this is not where my expertise was in, but I also did training in this yearly for 7 years, so I do have some knowledge in it. So the topic is CBRN, chemical, biological, radiological, nuclearological events, and MOPP equipment, that is mission-oriented protective posturing, or PPE, which is personal protective equipment. So we're going to be talking about those things today, the training that you go through in the military, and some of the things that I've seen that are concerning me about the coronavirus, which is why I'm bringing you this episode at all. I hadn't even put in my planning ever about a CBRN episode, but having seen everything coming out about the coronavirus, I thought, well, there is actually some knowledge in the military about what you could do, how you could protect yourself. All that being said, I do not pretend to be an expert on any of this, so do your own research. I'm gonna put all of the links to everything that has influenced what I'm thinking below. If you can disprove any of it, I would love to hear it. If you think that I'm just ridiculous, that's totally fine. You're totally welcome to cut the video off at any point.
If you look at my record and you still doubt about my commitment, then you should vote for somebody else.
I have been watching the coronavirus for a few weeks. It's been something that I've thought, ooh, this could be a really bad event globally. There's so much misinformation to go right along with the information, and that has been a little bit confusing. Everything that I've found to be substantiated in some way is below in a link. So there's a bunch of links below, check it out, comment. Either way, the information that I'm gonna bring you in this episode about MOPP gear and CBRN equipment is very applicable to not just this, but future events like it. So here we go. To understand what I'm talking about, you have to understand a CBRN incident requires MOPP gear. There's 4 stages of MOPP, and MOPP 0 is just whatever you're wearing. If you're in a uniform, it's your uniform. If you're in civilian clothes, then it's just whatever you're wearing. And then MOPP 1 is a suit. So you put on your charcoal lined suit. Then MOPP 2 is your boots. So you put on your charcoal lined suit and your boots, but your charcoal lined suit should already be on. MOPP 3 is when you put your mask on, and then MOPP 4 is when you put your gloves on. So, and that's just always the order that you're gonna put personal protective equipment on if you're dealing with a contaminated event.
Suit, boot, gas, mask, and gloves, mask and gloves. Suit, boot, gas, mask, and gloves, mask and gloves. That is right, the Air Force loves suit, boot, gas, mask, and gloves, mask and gloves.
So they got to learn what it was like to do their job in an elevated MOPP posture, and they got to learn to overcome those things, whether it was typing on a computer, on GCSS, requesting parts. Some of them even had to use pens to use the keyboard, or even just communications. And I think that
currently what the doctors and nurses in China are doing, because they want to avoid contamination as much as possible, is using adult diapers under their suits, because if you take it off, you're dealing with contamination. It's on the outside layer, and you are just creating a personal room that fits the mold of your body. If what I'm seeing on the internet is even half true, then what we're gonna be facing with the coronavirus is pretty serious. So it's important to know how to, dress up and dress down and decontaminate, and decontaminating is...
Then Buddy 1 unties Buddy 2's draw cord. 1 starts from the rear and forms a fist behind Buddy 2's head. Buddy 1 pulls Buddy 2's hood back towards Buddy 1's fist. Buddy 1 ensures the hood is turned inside out. Then Buddy 1 grasps Buddy 2's coat at the shoulders and pulls the coat down and away from him, ensuring that the black part of the coat is not touched. Buddy 1 lays the coat on the ground, black side up. Buddy 1 unfastens Buddy 2's hook and pile fastener at the waistband, unfastens the 2 front closure snap, and opens the fly side fastener on the front of the trousers. Buddy 1 grasps Buddy 2's trousers at the hips and pulls them down to Buddy 2's knees.
We live in a pretty isolated society, so there's reason to believe that we could make it out a little bit better than China, but we'll see what happens. They've said that anything less than an N95 face mask will pretty much do nothing, so that is a little bit scary. I've already seen people here in the States wearing masks and gloves. I haven't seen people wearing eye protection yet. I am interested in when that will become a social norm of sorts. And there's no harm in going to the store and just getting extra things that you're already gonna use anyways, right? Like, if you just get extra rice, extra beans, extra whatever, and it's not gonna go bad, then who cares? Even if there's no sickness, nobody in the US gets sick after what we've already had, and it completely gets quarantined in China, then you just have a little extra. You don't have to go to the grocery store as much. Like, is it really that big of a deal? I'm not saying go out and prepare like it's Armageddon. I'm just saying don't be the last one to the grocery store. Toilet paper in China has been hard to come by, and produce is not being logistically moved from one place to another. So when you go to the grocery store today, tomorrow, the next day, just get a few extra items that you're already gonna use, already gonna eat, doesn't matter. I know that I sound like a prepper when I'm saying all this, but I'm legitimately concerned. I really hope this all is nothing and that I am just a boy who cried wolf. I've been doing the research. I've been watching this for a little while, and this is only getting more serious. So don't consider me an expert. Do the research for yourself, but check out the links below. Maybe stop by Lowe's or Costco on your way home. Get a few extra things, and you know, if you do have to start taking measures to protect yourself against the coronavirus, you can get some activated charcoal. You can use it to put all over your clothes if you're feeling that you need a layer of protection. Japan has a cruise ship that has 3,600 passengers on board, and they don't have the resources to test all of those 3,600 passengers, which is scary to me because that means they don't have the resources to test 3,600 people. That's not good. Here's the thing. I don't think that this was a weaponized virus, but it very, very well could have been, right? I'm not saying it was, but I can't also just say that it's not. We have an entire command, areas of the military, whether it be compounds, bases, whatever, dedicated to not just the research of, but the development of, implementation of, what does that look like? We have think tanks that are just there for people to figure out what would happen if we dropped it here, what would happen if we dropped a virus here. I'm not saying that nature isn't a murderer, because nature is the best killer, but also look what this has done to China on the global market. China is entirely isolated. Whether this was or was not an intentional attack by a government entity, it has isolated China in a way that I haven't seen in my lifetime. Maybe the response is similar to what people saw in the response to SARS, but I don't remember SARS being as bad as this. All that being said, what's great is the Army surplus stores all around the nation are a fantastic resource for exactly this. I went to my local Army surplus store and I was looking for a charcoal lined suit, and they had the bottoms but not the tops. If you're a veteran, then you know when you went to the gas chamber what it was like to get that on and what that felt like, and how it got black powder all over you, and how it, you had a separate thing that was like a little bit more rubbery to go over your head, and then it sealed around your gas mask. That is what I was looking for. I actually found a flight suit that was cheaper than the bottoms alone and covered more of my body. So I picked that up, and it was a charcoal lined flight suit. I also think that it's worthwhile knowing that charcoal, activated charcoal, not just like, don't just burn up some sticks and then you're good to go. You have to, charcoal has been in my life since my deployment. I had a super awesome guy came through and was like, dude, you got stomach issues? You need to take some activated charcoal. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I'll try anything. And then he gave me some and I was like, that's the best goddamn thing in the world. I'm so serious. I realized after I started looking into it a little bit more that it was also used as filtration for absolutely everything. And it does so by a process of
adsorption means molecules bind to the surface of another compound, like the carbon-lined pores in activated charcoal.
The movie Contagion was pretty good at depicting a lot of things. I don't know if it was necessarily right about everything, but some societal breakdowns were definitely there. And I thought that was really well done. You can get a usable gas mask charcoal filter right on Amazon, so I highly encourage that. In the case that some shit actually goes down, first thing I'm doing is shaving my beard. I have so much more respect for women veterans after having just put that gas mask on one time with like a little bit longer hair than I used to have. I mean, it's long, but it's not like a woman's long hair. And trying to put that gas mask on and just dealing with it getting everywhere was infuriating. So lady vets, good on ya. Even if a vaccine was discovered today and we knew everything there was to know about the virus today, manufacturing and distribution would take over a year before that would all make its way to us as the consumer. My name's Scott, you're watching Regular Veteran. If this did any good for you, if you learned anything from this and you want me to follow up with other things that I learned about the coronavirus, that's not really what this channel's about, but I would do that if that's something that you guys wanted. Otherwise, this is gonna be the only video that I make about the coronavirus. The next thing that you're gonna see is all about Dunkirk. The video that you'll see after that is all about the House Committee on Veteran Affairs YouTube channel.